Basketball is a sport defined by history, passion, and its ever-changing cast of heroes who shape its legacy. When the Philadelphia 76ers face off against the Milwaukee Bucks, we see two franchises rooted in deep tradition and forward-thinking ambition. From Philly's storied success under legends like Dr. J and Allen Iverson, to Milwaukee's championship-level resilience with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and
Giannis Antetokounmpo,
these teams embody the evolving narrative of the NBA. But just as on-court battles captivate fans, the foods that define each hometown tell their own stories. Basketball and cuisine share a common thread. They bring people together. Whether in arenas or kitchens, both celebrate creativity, community, and the desire to savor something special. This is Matchup Mashups. Today's duel: Philadelphia 76ers versus Milwaukee Bucks. We're merging two classic dishes from these basketball meccas: the iconic Philly Cheesesteak and the buttery, indulgent Butter Burger that Milwaukee calls its own. Together, they form a Cheesesteak Butter Burger, a hearty, flavor-packed tribute to two culinary traditions that, like their teams, refuse to be overshadowed. Philadelphia's culinary identity is anchored in the humble cheesesteak. Born in the city of brotherly love, the sandwich combines thinly sliced steak and onions with melted cheese on a hoagie roll, creating a timeless street food phenomenon. Much like the 76ers, who reinvented themselves through generations of superstars and rivalries, the cheesesteak has evolved from a local specialty to a national icon. Beyond the kitchen, Philly's rich history, from the Liberty Bell to vibrant neighborhoods, adds depth and legacy to every bite. Milwaukee, on the other hand, is a Midwestern gem where hearty comfort foods reign supreme. The Butter Burger, with its luscious pat of butter melting over a juicy patty, is emblematic of the city's love for classic American fare. Much like the Bucks, who carved their place in the league's upper echelon through determination and skill, the Butter Burger embraces a time-honored approach that prioritizes rich flavors and honest ingredients. Milwaukee's friendly pubs, lakeside summers, and strong brewing tradition add a layer of warmth that can be tasted in every bite of its culinary staples. Start by finely chopping white onions and sautéing them in a bit of butter until translucent and lightly browned. These savory, sweet morsels are essential to both a proper cheesesteak and a top-notch burger. In a small saucepan, combine grated cheddar, evaporated milk, and a bit of cornstarch. Warm it gently, whisking until smooth and creamy. This velvety sauce captures that Philadelphia fondness for silky cheese, ready to be draped over the final masterpiece. On a hot griddle or cast iron skillet, cook thinly sliced steak until browned and juicy. Add a few slices of provolone on top as it finishes, allowing the cheese to melt into the meat. Take the ground beef and gently shape it into a patty and avoid overworking the meat, ensuring that it remains tender and juicy. Place the patty on a hot skillet or griddle right next to the steak and cook it until it develops a rich brown crust on one side, then flip it to finish thoroughly cooking it. Just before the burger is done, place a generous amount of butter on top. Let that melt, basting the meat in richness and sealing in its savory juices. Then once the cheese is melted on the steak, add the steak on top of the butter, helping it melt into both the steak and the burger. We're going with a potato bun, which is unquestionably one of the best. Place the butter-basted burger along with the steak on top. Spoon on some sautéed onions, followed by a generous amount of the warm cheese whiz. Then crown it all with the top half of the bun, pressing it gently to let the flavors melt. The Cheesesteak Butter Burger is more than just a sandwich. It's a symbol of the synergy that can emerge when we unite two beloved culinary traditions. Like the Sixers and the Bucks, these flavors carry their own legacies. Philly's blue-collared grit and love of bold tastes, and Milwaukee's comforting, Midwestern approach to hearty meals. The The final product is an edible tribute to the spirit of competition and collaboration that drives both sports and cuisine. In every bite, you'll taste the balance between rich, melting cheese and succulent steak, between velvety butter and tender beef. It's a snapshot of two cities with their own proud histories, pushing each other to new heights and celebrating what makes them unique.
This is impossibly good.
The rivals on the hardwood cool themselves off, lick their wounds, and prepare for the next game. In the kitchen, doing much of the same and looking towards the next matchup and what we can mash up in order to showcase the best each team has to offer.